Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be reacting to Mob Psycho Season 2, Episode 5. We had a very interesting conclusion to last episode with Mob being shown and put, he's in the head, and now he is kind of in his own head, in this world where if Mob didn't have psychic abilities, which I thought was a very interesting concept because it puts Mob in this situation where maybe his emotions wouldn't be blocked like they are. Maybe that's the entire cause of it. I think this could open up a lot of things for him to think about in general. And I'm just excited to see what happens next here. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. If you want to see a couple episodes early, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/AJRich123. It definitely helps. And let's go ahead and start. Well, having a rich dad would make you popular. Oh, so she's put in his head here. She's actually put in his class. Interesting concept. But it's going to be Mob's actual personality and actually what he would do then. He's definitely going to throw everything at him, though. Make it horrible. Which would really affect any, less strong will. If you think about it, in the real world, he has friends that he has people that'll back him up or help him. He doesn't have those people there. Which is what he's doing, so he's reading them like a book. Meaning if he was in this situation with no powers, that concept wouldn't even cross his mind. This is a normal situation for some people. This does happen to people. I feel this is what happened to this guy. Something kind of like this. And why he was driven to the spot, though he had psychic abilities. God, they really put the worst situation for him. Eventually, the world must have broke this guy. Darker and darker. He got the shit stick of life. Ooh. So he blamed himself, which makes it even worse. That's why he sees himself as a good person. Exactly. He sees himself as a good person because all the things that he's doing, he thinks he's just, which a lot of bad guys have this type of a lot of the guys that are displayed as bad or villains have a past very similar to this that converts them to make them think like this. It's like you have a twisted way of thinking and you think what you're doing is right. Most of the time a lot of these guys think what they're doing is right, and that's what's happening here. Dropping bodies, making, bad people suffer, or what in his mind, people that are doing bad things, making them suffer, but it's not really helping in the long run. But circumstances can change people. I feel Mob is stronger than that. I feel Mob can he's never been tested to this point, but I think he's stronger than that. I hate seeing Mob, even though this is in his mind, I hate seeing him treated like that. That is an insane amount of trust, but he knows him better than anybody. He's talking like that, but he's really like that because he cares about him greatly. He's putting his all to change Mob here, to change his way of thinking. Ooh, the demon, the dark side. Is he actually affecting him a little bit? Huh. That's somebody I wouldn't think that would help. He's beaten this before. Mob can beat this way of thinking. Oh! Holy fucking shit! I did not think Mob could be broken like this. What? This is why outside sources is good with Mob. One of the things I was thinking about, I knew I was going to lose my train of thought here, was that Mob actually might have fallen for something like this, with maybe those outside sources were the reason why Mob actually is the way he is, the reason why he's able to control his emotions. Maybe on his own, it would have gone down that path. He would have been like this other guy. But that also makes me think, what if this other guy, this other psychic that ended up becoming this bad person and this bad spirit, had the outside influence and had people that could mentor him and people around him like, you know, Reagan and like Dimple and all them and his brother? What if he had that? Would he have turned out better as well? Maybe it really is that circumstances can screw you, but you need those outside sources to really, I mean, anyone can turn bad. And we know Mob has a hard time with this inner side, this inner emotion in him. We've seen him go out of control. So without that outside help, maybe he really would have maybe he would have became like that. That's, I just didn't want to really believe it, I guess. Because that's what he needs. Dimple's there to wake him up. Bone in his head. Oh, he's like inserting memories or something here. Yup, it's the people around him. The people around him made him who he is. Yup. The club members, everybody around him. His relationships is what makes him get through life and not have became like that. The relationship, holy shit. He got jacked fast. Actually, he would fit in with the Body Improvement Club like that. It gave him a different perspective, though, and make you appreciate the things around you. Yup. Absolutely fucking exactly. He's stronger than that because he has the people around him. I love being right sometimes, and it felt like that to me. He literally was able to like his circumstances, I guess I wanted in my head, I wanted to make Mob this guy that couldn't be broken, couldn't be, even though we've seen him go out of control and stuff. But it was like, I wanted to see this illusion where he wouldn't get broken by this, but it makes an insane amount of sense. The way he is, the reason why he is the person he is today is because of the people around him. If he had never found Reagan, if he had never had a brother, gotten close to his brother, found the Body Improvement Club, you know, liked somebody, all these relationships, he could have easily become that. The reason, like, more so than a lot of people, like, he could have gone dark easier than some other people because he needs those influences. It makes him the person he is today. And I love that. It's kind of cool seeing not a perfect main character, somebody that can be influenced, somebody that has issues with their emotions. It is a broken person that is picking up the pieces and becoming a better person over time and learning from his mistakes. That was great. Oh my God, let's keep going. He's a lot stronger in here. It's harder to fight in, you know, in the brain, in a body. My freaking God. It's all that negativity. You have to beat the negativity. It's how you can, like, all these feelings can, man, mess up your head. That's what puts him on the right path. Exactly, it's what puts him on the right path. Exactly, which is what makes him him, what makes Mob Mob. Jesus. Only this type of fight you can have in a body. Total destruction. He beat his mind games. He's Mob. He is in control, more so than ever when he's exploding. Like, he's in complete control. Yup. It's a make or break time for him, and he made it. Holy crap! I think this season is better than last. I'm loving the mental games this season is playing. His intentions was not to do this, it was to break him, but he did the opposite. He made Mob even more OP, if that's possible. Because now he has goals. Now he actually has something to fight for, even more so. Gotta use him as a distraction. Ooh. Mob is looking badass here. I don't think he even believes that at this point. He's just trying to say anything he can say. Holy hell! They went all out in this episode. Don't look inside the eye. That is cool. A freaking explosion in epic proportions. This is like an orgasm for my eyes. Such beautiful, like, animation. Oh. How did that happen? Oh man, I thought that was gonna be so much worse when it came to him breaking there. I thought it was like he had lost somehow or something for half a second just because of the way it broke into that dark question mark. But I think Mob's had more control over his emotions and situation than he ever has to this point. That was so good for him. All of that to save her, but it was worth it. Maybe she learned a lesson there. Because of her own situation. This needs to be a learning experience for her as well. Reigen is a good guy, though. I think a lot of it's an act. It really is. This was a very good learning experience, and I thought it was just for Mob, and then, you know, also for, you know, that evil psychic, former psychic, like, but it was also for the girl as well. I thought maybe that was a fabricated personality that it was showing of her. I didn't think she'd actually be like that, but it ended up being her actual personality, meaning she needed something like that. It was kind of a wake-up call because she remembers that stuff. She saw how she was acting, so I think Mob is continuing this trend of changing people and helping people. I think he did that as well when it came to her, and that was kind of a nice little bonus because I didn't even think about that concept that that might have been her, like her. I thought the whole world that it was being shown, I thought that was just all fabricated just to manipulate Mob's emotions. But it was just such a beautiful episode. I didn't really get to touch on it too much, but I do want to say we already know how good these fights are and how the animation just displays them beautifully. But this one has to be on the top. I think the way it was displayed was probably the best I've seen so far in the show. It was just like, it's so unique. Like, so unique compared to what we see in fights from other shows. It's done in a different style that's really pleasant, and I just enjoyed it. And it's like, oh my god, I didn't really know what to say when it was because it's just like, it's not like a fight outside. This is all in the head. So when you think of, you know, mentally, things that are happening in your brain and mentally, anything can happen. I mean, it's whatever you're thinking, displaying, or whatever she's thinking and displaying, it's in there. So all that's not actually physically happening, but it is to your eyes and you seeing it. It was just like great, amazing. But Mob had more character development in that episode than ever. I think, like, it's like he learned who he was. He learned like, that guy went in trying to break Mob, but he did the opposite. He made Mob actually go through a trial that he didn't understand that he needed to go through to become a better person, to become more complete, to understand his emotions better. He needed to see that other side, that what could have been. He needed to see the dark end that other people see. Like, how do you understand spirits that go through, not just spirits, but people in general, what they go through if you don't go through it yourself? That's and see it yourself. And that's what happened. He got to see some of the people that he's fought or seen that's been necessarily evil or dark or whatever. He got to see them in full. He got to see it in that perspective and it happening to him. And it made him realize, and as us as the viewer realize, that anybody can be broken, and Mob was a very broken person that could have easily been in that spot, could have became the worst, like the most evil, like darkest person in the world. How strong Mob is, it could have gone so badly, but because he had the right people in his life and the circumstances were situated to work for him, Mob became a better person, and he was able to, when he's at his darkest, when there's no hope, he has somebody like Dimple or Reigen telling him what to do, like leading him down the right path, which a lot of people don't get that situation to be. And the way that guy was trying to display it was like, you're privileged, you got to experience it like that. So if you were thrown down this path, you would have turned out bad. And he wasn't completely wrong. It could have gone down that path, but he isn't down that path. He had the right. I mean, anybody could be, if they go through a different past, then they go through a different way. Even the strongest person, the strongest people could be broken and not brought. That's why it's so important while you're growing up to be able to have those influences, to have those people around you to bring you up, to bring you down the right path, and inspire you, and just having those relationships and friends. And Mob was in that right situation. He doesn't have to be in that spot, he's in. And it made him realize, yeah, I could have been like that, but, that's why I want to help people, because there are people like that have those situations, and all they need is somebody like Mob to be there for them, to be a friend, to help them. And that, it gave him more purpose. I think that's what the biggest thing of this episode was. It gave Mob, if he didn't have a purpose already, which it was seeming like he was really fighting through it, he was really having a hard time grasping how other people were feeling, this episode defined it. This episode made him feel completed. He realized what he could do to help people, and that's going to help him in the long run and drive him. I loved that. I also love that Reagan had that full confidence to not think there was any chance Mob would have trouble with that, but at the same time, Dimple went in, Dimple was worried about it, and they were able to break him out of that thought process, which is the whole idea of that, is having somebody there to help you, and they were there in the right time to kind of remind Mob, and having that girl go through that, and actually not being that rich kid and privileged kid, to have all this stuff or whatever, and then her seeing it on the opposite end and seeing herself do all these bad things that she probably does already normally, that changed her. You can see it on her face right away. It made her realize how bad of a person she was being. So technically, that evil guy helped both of them, not meaning to. It was unintentional, but he unintentionally helped Mob and that girl, and it was kind of beautiful. This was a great episode. What did you guys think? Did you guys? Is this one of your? I think this is probably one of my favorites so far. Season 1, episode 12, season 1, episode 5. I liked both of those were my favorites, but I think this is definitely there in the top 3 so far. Might even beat out. It might even be 1 or 2. I'm gonna have to really think by the end of the show. But what's been your favorite episodes so far in this show? Mine more so are always my favorite episodes are the ones that pull the most emotion, pull the most lack of a word makes me feel something, and really show, good fights are great, but and I love a good fight, but I like to have something behind it, and my favorite episodes of the show have those emotions and those big emotional roller coaster through the entire episode. It pulls at you. Those are my favorites. But anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite. Thank you for watching, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. Check out the Patreon if you want to see episodes early or uncut. Patreon.com/AJRich123. It helps me out, makes it so I can get reactions out faster. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.